April ni som pariat sang ni som ni paruk ani voin chu ka riek lawang zanin chu ka riek lawang kan rest ang katia maro chu hei breaking news om tlat maya Iran lampang hian in anin do long te mangin Strait of Hormuz kaltang tum oil phur long te hi an lo kap ani omani atira khanin Iran lampang chu an hong veka amaro chu Strait of Hormuz an khar le ni soi ani ya United States Navy te chu anin long te kha chu kaltang an phala amaro chu Iranian long chol na mun Iran long chol na mun tlo te ro kha chu an la dang zel ti te kha ani ya khang ani nuai kara hian hei breaking news aron om tlat maya hei Fox News lampang point Strait of Hormuz Iran control na hnuaya om pum hlum vekan hi tiang zong ten an ron report bok ani Trump apo at hinrim mel khop maya empon ni se kan react chanang.
What do we know as to what's happening right now in the strait?
Oh, tunai hianin Strait of Hormuz ha enge thil thleng enge kan hriat chian thei a detail an ron soi do ni.
Yeah, interesting as well listening to the president saying that he's not going to be held hostage by Iran. He did say that he thought things
Iran ina hetianga thil an du dana anti Khawvelin mai hi ka phal don lo shrim tin President Trump achonin soi ni.
Things were going along well. I think everyone thought about 5 or 6 hours ago. Since then, the Iranians have appeared to attack 2 shipping vessels in the Strait of Hormuz.
Long pakhat no mai ni lo long pani lai Iran lampang hian in an lo be ani an navy te hi US lampang khanin kan kap chevek to anti mo katia maro chai Iranian gun boats anti long te enge speed sang deu angkha avani melve.
One tanker just off the coast of Oman, so very close to the Strait of Hormuz.
One tanker just off the coast of Oman. Oman nai deu ami hi Iran lampang hian vaka pani.
Said it was two IRGC Iranian gunboats came at it and didn't talk to it on the radio. Literally opened fire on this tanker.
And then ve khatiang Iranian IRGC long tereu te ang kha khanin khami oil phur long lin deu kha an vapana radio pon engma po ya IRGC Iran sipai the an va be pop lo ni engma an soilawa an vaka mal buon ni turani.
The crew and the vessel are reported safe, and then about 2 hours later in the same area an unidentified projectile hit a container ship. Some of the containers damaged.
Unidentified projectile tini hi RPG nge missile nge hriat lo ani projectile ani chuanin chakta ka thok ti na khani maya khanin container dang long dang kap phule bokani hi Hmar loka IRGC long te na an ka na bor vela khanin helong hi alo kal le ni omani chu asan pa hianin projectile mangin missile ani thaya rocket propelled grenade RPG te po ani thayani khamang khanin be ani le ani.
No fire, no environmental damage, but this comes just hours after the Iranians said they were reversing their opening of the Strait of Hormuz. We've heard a lot of pushback from hardliners in Iran saying that move essentially was too soft and that they are not responding well to the fact that President Trump said that the US blockade would remain in place.
Iranin darkar ngai mo darkar rukal ta vel khani Strait of Hormuz kan khar le don ani anti ani khami ani nu rei lo te khan tiang khanin an sipai long te khan eng long dang te hi an lo be le thut maya hi Iran lampang hian in ngating Strait of Hormuz si an khar le na chan ti hi news ka hремia lo mai ke ma hian sil tur cheu amaro chu kan react page langa an soi mai theian mani hian
accuses the United States here of not following through on its obligations on the ceasefire. So we've gone from a point of
Iran lampang chuan in US te hian in ka haian puan hi an zom thalo tin zong in an soi ani
early this morning where things looked like they were moving along well, talks getting close, people talking about potential of talks here in Islamabad in a couple of days. Iranians upping the ante, and I think perhaps that gets to what the president said. He's not going to be held hostage, and he said he's expecting an update on the situation.
In biang na ha akal tuang view ang hinan ngaya engkim kha thataka kal tuang takang ina ngai ni hey Trump pangai po hian in asoi heng he ya hemi a hian nakina kan react thei tura ngai la Trump pangai po in asoi ni engkim kha boruak mon om tak noya in biang na te akal veka amai ro chu hetiang hian in thila omle da thut sia hei hian in Trump papo atithin ur em ni in a hriata engtin nge Trump a hian in phubala kang ti hi hei Khawvelin hian a chang mek don ni na lang ani achan chu Trump a hian in a du chuanin khata Strait of Hormuz adan na lông bang te khan Iran hi du chuanin akap le thei ani engtin nge Trump a hen atiang
later today.
Nick, how much of this has to do with the situation in Lebanon with Israel, or are these events concentrated based on concerns over the strait itself?
Lebanon le Israel te in ka hai pon chung chang tenen tuna mi hi voina tuna thil theng hi in kung kaina anayem.
Absolutely, the Iranians opening the Strait of Hormuz was based on the fact that they saw President Trump and the
in kung kaina anay Iran te tan son in Lebanon hi poimo viewanyang
Pakistani negotiators, the field marshal here, Munir, get this ceasefire in Lebanon. That was a big part of moving things forward. But the Iranians, they then did a quid pro quo and opened the Strait of Hormuz because
Israel le Lebanon in kara in ka hai puana niya Iran lampang hian in Strait of Hormuz ka an hong nga la.
Of course, they wanted that ceasefire in Lebanon. They thought there'd be a positive response from the White House. That's what they're saying.
White House lampang atrangin chanchin lomom deu andong tura Iran lampang hian lawin ngaya.
What we've witnessed is a negative response in Iran to President Trump's response. We've even seen internal tensions in Iran between the hardliners and the moderates. The moderates are the ones who were in the negotiations. The hardliners have been saying that had been threatening to reclose the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran na po hianin thunei na anin chu ve deuh hlengani extreme dewan oma apangai a moderate dewan oma a moderate lampang te khanin Strait of Hormuz hetianga hon hi andua ro chu extreme a radical lampang ho khanin Strait of Hormuz te poka khar te poka andua omje chu Iran a po hianin an sarkar ro rel na po tu na hianin I anin lungrol vek lo ni ti kha hriat thei ani a then chuanin US lampang du da hian ti maila ti polte an om ni don ni na langa amaro chu a then extreme deuh kal enge kal fir deuh ang chi te po kha an om ni in a hriata ne.
They've gone ahead and done that. Their gunboats appear to be attacking maritime vessels, tankers, container ships close to the Strait of Hormuz. So the two things are interlinked, but we're now back to the bigger issue here of US-Iran tensions. Do we the talks, or does this latest escalation at the Strait of Hormuz, does it scuttle all of that?
Pangai de win thilom thodon mo khatia oil man te po kha atlan hiam chakani zeblo chuan amaro chu tuna chuan in United States le Iran te in kar ti hiam boro ron sang le thut mai sia engtin nge ni zel don.
The president said that we'll know more later today, and I imagine that will be the case. Nick Robertson in Islamabad, thank you for that report.
This latest escalation could mean big issues for oil and gas prices. So let's discuss now with Yahoo finance correspondent.
Oil and gas prices te hi englo le don nge aron to le don ina lang. Tunai hianin Fox News tampang mi kan riak le nga Strait of Hormuz under full Iranian control an tiani. Hepi chu a title hi an ron ti extreme ang rangkhop maya. Strait of Hormuz hi Iran thunei na nuaya pum hlum to anin ron ti pop mai.
You know, these talks may find turbulence here because just moments ago, our colleague Trey Yingst says that a regional intelligence official tells Fox News that, quote, the Strait of Hormuz is under full IRGC control and effectively closed at this moment. Multiple
IRGC te thunei na nuaya Strait of Hormuz ya omane.
Vessels have been forced to turn around since this morning as they attempted to pass through the strait.
Long tam takin Strait of Hormuz ka paltang an tuma tugin jingla mate po amaro chu kirle na salhomani omje chu I Persian Gulf atanga Strait of Hormuz kaltanga heta ronchuak tum le heta tanga valu tum ang chi te po kha khang te po ang kirle na san ni don na langani.
Trey adds this as well, the IRGC opening fire on at least one vessel as part of the closure policy they declared last night. This is not at all the way President Trump suggested Iranian officials were cooperating with the strait. We're going to talk in just a moment about how the markets, all the indices went up because of it. But the fact that Iran and the IRGC is effectively trying to step in and reassert control is not going to be met kindly with the president.
Donald Trump hen intin mani takson action ala karin mani asan so Iran lampang hen in Strait of Hormuz control an tum khop maya an zeblo chon mo thil pakhat kariru ti boy tu chu Trump ate Pete Hegseth te khami an defense secretary khang te khani Iran navy hi kan ti effect to kha anti antia amaro chu an na ti chevek lo de uni na langa ni khoi tang nge long te hi ron chuanga engti nge long te po hi a thuru no te pon nei zong on le ti tura ni hi zona omani asan chu indo tran tir lampang khanin US lampang khanang kap na sa ni ran navy te hemo an long zong zong tuin hunga ya apil vek to ti te kha chanchin he kan shria maro chu he in Iran indo long in khang Strait of Hormuz kal tang tum tu long te kha lo kap le thlet maya.
No, it's definitely not as the president said it was going to be. And also, it's for those of us just watching on the sideline who don't understand, necessarily all the military, all the military components that are going on here. I'm actually surprised that they can take control of the Straits of Hormuz at this point. I thought that they had been more degraded militarily and not able to do that. I don't know about
News reporter po hianin ka tuna ka zo na le ka ngai dan ang chi haron soive Strait of Hormuz hetianga an mani thunei na hnoyan handa pumlum the hi amak ka ti khop mai an navy lampang te kha a chene to fu mo khati aron ti ve thawani me Fox News an reporter po hian mo
about you, Charlie, but this is very shocking, or maybe not so.
amak an tian yan mani khen
It's not, it's not difficult to make threats and to, as they have throughout the history of the revolution. Iran has made, which is why we are the only reason they have any power is because they're willing to do whatever it takes to bully people into being afraid to pass through there. But the thing that I'm sort of baffled by here is I don't know what their long play is. If
reporter te po hian nge Iran thil tum tak hi an threbik lawani zeblo chon US in Trump an Lebanon le Israel in kara in ka hayam puan chi khan Iran lampang khan lo mani an lo me wang khan Strait of Hormuz po kan hongvek to an tia tuna an ron khar le ta thut sia kalchang tum tu te long kha an beile box sia enge Iran hian in thil ti tuma nei o ti hi zona omani achan chu khatia nga thil thlen zong zong lai khan thadakin an in dor ve ring thawani US ten po Pakistan lama te po khanin enge Iran le US IO te wakala inbele tur ang rengdeu te khan soi te kha om mana maro chu tuna chuanin khang zong zong good news kan ron puan to zong zong kha khang zong zong kha cancel tuna chuanin US le Iran inkar boruak so sang le to khop maya Trump hian eng tin tak mo action alak ka ringa kan no react le donia chutiang breaking news deu om chuan tuna apoi mo ber chu Iran lampang hian in Strait of Hormuz an hon kha an khar le a IRGC in do long te in oil phur long le container ang chi te hang long lien deu ang kha radio communication engma pa om loin vakal chiran vaka pop mai ni mo pui khop mai